before I begin, let's give another round of applause for our Lieutenant Governor, Eleni Kounalakis. So I'm Dr. Richard Pan. I'm your state senator representing Sacramento. First of all, I want to thank Apapa. I want to thank Cece and Regina Yin so much for your leadership. I want to thank Amy Tong, who also, by the way, is in charge of IT here for the state. So she keeps everything running here. Yeah, let's give her a round of applause. The problem is she only gets news reports when things go wrong, not when everything goes right. So let's give her a round of applause for all the things that go right in California. So it's great to see everyone here today, here in Sacramento, standing against hate, united against hate. Now, I want to tell you that I'm actually the first Asian American to represent Sacramento in the state legislature. Now, the reason I mentioned that is because, we've already celebrated 150 years of Chinese American laborers helping build the Transcontinental Railroad, of which, of course, started here in Sacramento, right? Now, so think about it, more than 150 years later, I'm the first Asian American to represent Sacramento in the state legislature. It's been too long. The other thing I should mention is that in these hallowed halls here, we're standing in front of the state capitol. It's actually kind of challenging in there because you got to remember, it is in these halls that they pass legislation saying people like us cannot own or lease property. It is in these halls where they pass laws to say that, to urge Congress to ban us from coming to this country. In fact, we were the first illegal immigrants because we were banned from directly immigrating to the United States with the Chinese Exclusion Act, which later was expanded to other Asians. And so we had to come through Mexico to come to this country. Asian women were forbidden for coming into this country. Of course, the law didn't say Asian women, of course. They just kind of implied that Asian women were involved in things like sex trafficking and crimes and other types of things. And therefore, the customs person would look at them and go, nope, sorry, you can't come in, right? During World War II, of course, the federal government incarcerated Japanese Americans, but the state of California fired Japanese Americans who worked for the state because they were potentially disloyal. So we have a long history in this building of discriminating against Asians. And that is what we're here to say, that needs to change. It's changed, but we will no longer be silent. We are not invisible.
That's right, yes!
We are Americans, and we deserve to be treated equally to all Americans. I should also mention that, yes, also, we also stand in solidarity with our Black and Latino brothers and sisters, right? Okay, because they have their own challenges. We partnered with the Latino community in forming the Farm Workers Union, the Filipino farm workers who came over to farm their fields, right? We have Japanese farmers, we have the Sikhs, the Hmong, other people who, the South Asians. And so there are people from across Asia, across the Pacific Islands too, right? And I want to particularly recognize our Native Hawaiian Pacific Islanders here. Thank you so much. I know sometimes you feel like you've become invisible in our invisibility, so we want to recognize you distinctly. So we are calling for unity from everyone. Now I should mention a few things more recently. First of all, I want to thank Governor Gavin Newsom. We now have the first Filipino American and only the second Asian to be Attorney General of the state of California, right here to address API hate. As chair of the API Legislative Caucus, we are fighting to be sure that we are represented in the halls of government. And in fact, one of the things that we're doing as well is we're calling on the governor to support a budget package, $200 million budget package, specifically support our community and be sure that we have access to the other services as well in the state budget. How many times do we have programs in government and they don't have interpreters so that our community can access them? We fund healthcare, but do we have interpreters for our community to get access to that healthcare and mental health? We have business grants and loans? Do we have access to our community for that? Does the state actually collect data so we understand the needs of our community? These are the things we're asking for. So it's not just about stopping hate, which is extremely important. It's about being sure our community is seen. We will be seen. We are an equal part of this country and this state. So as you're one of your elected representatives, I'm here to fight for our community, to fight for our state. We also need to be sure we have leaders in other sectors as well. We held a hearing where we showed that a variety of different fields. So I'm a doctor. In medicine, we do not have many API who are medical school deans. In fact, I think there's only one in the whole country, right? We look at law, we need more API judges. We look at entertainment, we need more API in front of the screen. We see business and tech, we need more API as CEOs and on corporate boards. We are not just the worker bees in the front and the talent that's making things going. We should also be the leaders of this state and this country. And we will be, because we do have the talent, we do have the gumption, and we have the skills to do it. We just need the opportunity. So that's why we're here. I'm proud to be here with all of you. And I want to thank you so much for taking your time to show up here. Now I'm proud to introduce one of my good friends and our colleague in the state legislature. He chairs the Assembly Budget Committee. He is helping us get our package through. Let's give a round of applause for Assemblymember Phil Ting. Phil!